we want to evaluate some few things. To our peoples, this will go both ways, So the question is, the whole of this year, if you just evaluate your life, have you been in a relationship, ama situationship? We want to talk about that. And so we'll be tackling that, and we have our guest already in studio. Anasema anaitwa Ask the Teacher. We'll be getting some of those answers from the teacher himself. So are you in a relationship, ama a situationship? A very good morning, sir.
Morning.
How are you?
Fine, thank you. I can't complain.
Sasa, yes. Please introduce yourself to our guest. Right. So waambie wewe unafanya nini na pia jina lako kamili.
Majina yangu ya kazi ni Teacher Triza. Hayo ndio majina ninayotumia katika kazi yangu na pia katika social media. Majina ya M-Pesa ni Simon Maina.
Okay.
Nimeokoka. Yesu ni Bwana.
Yes.
Mimi ni mshauri na pia ni mhubiri wa habari njema.
Okay.
Na nimeneemeshwa na Mungu kuwa mwalimu.
Wow.
Tunapoongea kuhusu the fivefold ministry where we talk about the apostle, the pastor, the evangelist, the prophet. Ile ofisi huwa haitaji sana is the office of a teacher. Mimi katika fivefold ministry niko katika ofisi ya mwalimu.
Wow.
Na kazi ya mwalimu ni rahisi kama vile watoto wa nasari husema, asante mwalimu kwa kuondoa ujinga. Kazi ya mwalimu ni rahisi, ni ya kuondoa ujinga. We deal with basics.
Yeah, that's true.
We deal with basics. Ukingojea mambo complicated hutapata.
Exactly.
We just deal with basics, mambo ambayo ni ya msingi lakini ni ya muhimu. Kama nilivyosema pia mimi ni mshauri. I also coach both corporates, institutions and individuals.
Okay.
And for students I do both academic coaching and relationship coaching.
Nice.
Also for seniors.
Amazing, amazing. And so today we want to talk about, we have an understanding between relationships na situationships, and we need to also get to understand tuko kwa gani kwa kimaisha.
Mtu atajiita kamkutano.
Ajiite at the end of this we need to have a kamkutano personally.
Yep.
Please take us through that.
Maybe we start with the definitions.
Yeah, that would be good.
Tunapoongea kuhusu relationships na situationships, tunaongea kuhusu aina za mahusiano. Na utapata ya kwamba kuna aina 2 ama 3 za mahusiano ambayo yapo miongoni mwa watu.
Okay.
Na hii itakuwa ni aidha kwa urafiki ama kwa uhusiano wa kimapenzi, hata uhusiano kijamii.
Okay.
Mambo haya hupatikana. There are situational relationships in families also. So vizuri kwanza nianze kwa kuelezea ni vipi inayokaa namna gani. Relationships ambayo sasa ni ile tunaweza kuita ideal, ile ambayo ingependeka, ile ambayo ni ambayo inatakikana kuwa. Tunapoongea kuhusu a relationship, whether people are having a friendship or they're having a romantic relationship or it's family, every relationship that is genuine should be mutually beneficial.
Wow. Okay.
Inatakiwa kuwa ni uhusiano ambapo hakuna mmoja anayetumia mwingine.
It's mutual.
It must be mutually beneficial.
Wow.
That's a relationship.
Si na sip tu kutoka kwa mmoja.
Yes.
Okay.
Ukijipata huko kwa uhusiano ambako either wewe unatumiwa ama wewe unatumiana, bas, that's not a relationship. Now that imevuka, sasa inakuwa kitu ambacho mimi huita situationship.
Okay.
So kwingine utasikia ikiitwa toxic relationship or things like that.
Yeah.
Yes. But a relationship, a genuine relationship must be mutually beneficial.
Okay.
Bottom line. So ukijipata kwa relationship ambayo it's not mutually beneficial, either ni wewe unatoa all the time ama ni wewe unapokea all the time, iko shida. That's why even at the family level, watoto, you must be beneficial to the family unit.
Okay.
Sio kazi tu ni kula na kuitisha.
Mama nipe.
You must be contributors to the family unit.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Contribute by making sure the house is peaceful. Contribute by making sure the house is clean. Contribute by making sure you are not wasters. you must be contributors.
Exactly.
So situationships nazo ni za aina mbili. Aina ya kwanza ni ambayo naita relational situationships. Hizi ni relationship watu wamejipata, mmeingia ndani na unapata mmoja ameingia kutumia mwingine. Na anajua.
Hata anajua.
Amekaa, amepanga, nimekaa, nimeona mtu, nimeona Kenya yako nacho, nimejua ninakihitaji, na nimejua the only way ya kukipata ni kujifanya I'm getting into a relationship with them. Okay? Unfortunately, unaweza kujifanya wewe ndio mjuaji upate yule mwingine pia ni mjuaji.
Ashasi.
So in relation situationships, you either have one person being a parasite or two parasites feeding on each other, each hoping the other one is the loser.
Okay.
So unapata watu ni wawili wameingia katika relationship, mmoja alikuja na ujanja wake anatumia yule mwingine, ama unapata mmoja alikuja na janja akapata janja ule, ndio kwa Waswahili walikuwa wanasema. So unapata wote wawili wanatumiana, lakini kila mmoja ana hope yule mwingine ndiye atakuwa loser at the end of the day.
Ama asijue hata.
Una hope hata jua. Na una hope yeye ndiye atakuwa loser because you came in here as a parasite. Because technically what happens, a parasite lives on the host until the host dies. Basic biology.
Yeah, that's true.
So, hiyo ni relational situationship. Mlijipata, yani mko ndani, mnatumiana. The other one is what now I call the situational relationship. Situational relationship ni kwamba mmejipata mmeingia katika uhusiano kwa sababu ya jambo fulani. Hamukupanga. Ni ile huwa mnasema mlijikuta.
Ama circumstances
have forced you. Situations have forced you. You went hard and protected sex. Girl got pregnant.
Yeah.
You got married. Not because you loved each other, but because God got pregnant.
Yeah.
Now that's a situational relationship. So situational relationship shida yake ni kwamba what happens when the situation is resolved.
Okay.
Na msichana akizaa akuwe soba.
Okay.
Ama worst case scenario ale. After 18,
what next?
What happens? And you see, like if a girl gets pregnant at 17 or 18, even at 20, by the time the kid turns 18, how old is the girl?
38.
Life begins at 40.
Walolo.
So it might look like a good thing to do,
Yeah.
but what are you exposing yourself to? So you will find people, and it also happens watu wakienda US, mtu amekula visa, amekula green card, anakuoa kwa makaratasi. Ndio mwende naye.
Oh my goodness.
Na yeye. Mwingine atakuoa kwa sababu alikuwa anataka kukuoa na ulikuwa umekataa. Alikuwa anajua anataka kwenda US. So what happens when they land on the other side? And that's why we have, unfortunately, so many people wanaenda US wanaachana.
Yeah, the basis of the marriage is not right.
Because it should be known in all relationships that it never go wrong. It never goes wrong. It starts wrong. The problem is not when it is grown. The problem is how it started. So basically now those are the definitions. Either mko kwa uhusiano ambapo nyinyi nyote mnasikizana, ama mko kwa uhusiano ambayo nyinyi nyote mnakulana ama mwingine, ama mko kwa uhusiano ambapo gizwa na jambo. There is some forced you in relationship. So whether it is a parasite or two parasites in a relationship, or you got involved because of a situation, now those are situationships. And situationships have no length.
We need to know. Nini itafanya mtu ajipate kwa such messes? And also, what is the way forward after this? Please, don't touch that. in a relationship ama a situationship. Tumetoka ku have the definitions of that, and nakwambia this is a class. Please, let's make sure we get to have an understanding of where we are. Analyze your life. So even before we proceed with the questions that we have, what we'll be tackling today, there's someone who has sent in a message that needs help. So anasema, I'm in a bad situation. I don't want to do. I lost first marriage, and now I try the second, of which imekuwa bad relationship. I wish singeoa 8 years in marriage. Kwanza first and second marriage, now my wife, she is now in Saudi Arabia. Hakuna kitu sijafanya, but na feel nimefika mwisho juu my wife before I ended Saudi, she had told me I'm not the husband, even ananipea watu kunitusi. What can I do to forget ex-wife and my daughter and move on? How to prevent love, pain, and heal fast? So this seems like it's a situationship.
It's definitely a situationship. Not just seems, it's definitely a situationship. Unfortunately, from what I guess this is a guy.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, from the information he's given, there are so many gaps. So we don't have the whole picture.
Yeah.
But I want to go with the last part of the message: how to avoid hurts and
love and heal fast.
And heal fast. And I would want to say this: for every relationship you ever go into, and it ends, hata kama ni mkutano mtaitana mbele ya pastor na muambiane mtaachana, ama hata kwa maombi na muambiane mnaachana, ati nilisikia Mungu amesema tuachane. Every relationship that you have invested in,
Okay.
because even if you have not invested money, you have invested time, you have invested emotions.
Yes, that's true.
It will hurt.
Yeah, that's definitely true.
If you find yourself living a relationship and it did not hurt, then it wasn't a relationship.
The breakup did not break you.
There must be wounds to heal.
Yeah,
because that is the reality. Investment or lost. So kwa counseling kuna kitu tunaitaga loss and grief. It will be a loss. And so several things need to happen, that when a breakup happens, there are 3 steps to get out of a breakup. 3 steps. Number 1, forgive, and forgive fast. And especially for Christians, because I know when we talk to many people about forgiveness, they say, mi siwezi samehe mtu kama hata kuja kuomba msamaha. It is important for us to point out that forgiveness has got nothing to do with the other person.
Yeah.
Forgiveness has to do with you. Yeah. Jesus said, and we say this in the Lord's Prayer, and forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. So what comes first? We learn to forgive to receive forgiveness. Yeah. So when explaining the Lord's Prayer, Jesus said, for if you do not forgive men their trespasses, then your Father in heaven will not forgive you. Yeah. So one of the easiest way to go to hell is to hold on to grudges and offenses. Yeah, ukitaka kwenda jehanamu haraka, hiyo ni direct ticket. Hiyo ni one way. Yeah. Hata hainaga stopover. Hiyo ni one way.
Yes.
Okay? Forgive and do it fast, because the faster you can release, the faster you'll be free. Okay. Somebody said about forgiveness, said forgiveness does not make the other person right. It makes you free.
Wow, that's good.
So forgiveness, it is not that the other person was right. No, it makes you free. Number 2, and maybe still on forgiveness, Nelson Mandela, when he was speaking about what happened in South Africa at the end when they were having discussions, said, unforgiveness is like taking poison and expecting the other person to die. Yeah. So when you don't forgive, it is you who hurts, not the other person. You don't hurt the other person by not forgiving them. You hurt yourself by not forgiving. So that's number 1, forgive and do it as fast as possible. Number 2, close accounts. One of the biggest problem we have in relationships is people who come into relationships with baggages from the other relationships. Yeah. They never closed accounts. They never moved on from the other relationship. The other relationship were not completely severed. They were not completely finished. So you are coming to a relationship na baggage ya the other relationship. So in counseling, we have a statement when we talk about emotions, and we say, hurting people hurt people.
Yeah.
If you come in a relationship and you're still hurting, chances are you're going to hurt the person who you get into with the new relationship.
Yes.
So close accounts, take time, heal, ensure that your emotional health is back. You cannot be able to love another while you are still hurting. You cannot be able to build another relationship when you have not recovered from the previous one.
Yeah, that's true.
Because if you don't resolve the other relationship, what happens is that you keep looking at this new person with the lenses of the other relationship.
My ex used to do this.
Yes, my ex used to do this. My ex was like this. Whenever my ex did this would happen. So those are the two main things that need to happen. Then, of course, the third thing is that you need to move on. Because many people, once they have been hurt, stay there like life has come to an end. Life does not end with one relationship. Learn how to grow other relationships with time. Now, to that person, your situation, because that's a situationship, looks, from the sound of it, even with the gaps, look like your wife who has gone to Saudi knew what she was doing. So you are the one. This is where unasikia mayouth wakisema you are dating yourself.
Oh, Lolo, that's so sad.
You are dating yourself. And as of the question of what do you do to forget
the ex-wife,
your ex-wife and your daughter, I can tell you for free, there is nothing you can do to forget people.
What do they do? Atafanya?
You can't forget people. How? Those people are alive, especially if you have a daughter. If you have a daughter, the daughter will still come looking for you. So forgetting, because it will not happen.
Okay.
Start working out on how to live with that reality. A broken relationship is a reality. Those people are alive. They are still there. So what needs to happen is that your heart needs to be resolved. You need to forgive. You need to heal to a point where now you can see them, and those emotions of hurt and wounds are not manifested. And it's a lie to say it will happen without work. You have to work on it to happen.
So how can he work on it? Can he see counselors or anything?
Thank you for asking. Number one, no counselor can help you forgive. Forgiveness is a decision.
Okay.
Okay? But when now it comes to healing, therapy is a good thing. So two things will help you heal. One of them is time. The other one is therapy. And therapy, we're talking about speaking to friends, speaking to maybe a spiritual authority, but very importantly, if you can, get a professional counselor. Talk to us, we can help.
Okay.
Yes.
That is so good. Thank you so much for answering that, and I hope whoever asked, you're fully satisfied with what.
We'll give my number towards the end. If he's not satisfied, he can always reach out.
Exactly.
Yes.
So now coming back to what we're talking about.
Yes.
You mentioned in the definition, you mentioned some of the things that can lead an individual to get to situationships.
Yes, yes.
But there are those who are not aware that they're in situationship. No, ile yenye ulikuwa unasema one is a parasite. So there's the host.
Yes.
So how can a host identify where for 8 years nimekuwa kwa situationship?
Unajiita tu kwa mkutano. That is why we said it was in the post. I think I can't see it on the screen. It was in the post. I said evaluate
Yes.
your relationships. One of the problems we have is that people never evaluate relationships. They flow.
Kaende
Katambe, ka flow.
Hey.
So people don't evaluate.
Yes.
But if you ever sit down with yourself and do a pro con spreadsheet, if you will,
yes,
you can always figure out, am I being used?
wow,
Because we said a relationship must be mutually beneficial.
Yes.
Situationships, somebody is being used. You need to sit down and see, are you the one who puts work into the relationship?
Are you dating yourself?
Are you dating yourself?
Yes.
Are you the only one who is concerned?
Are you the one making calls, SMSs, good morning, good night, how was your day?
Are you always the one who initiates conversation, communication? Are you always the one who pushes? Wacha nikuje ni visit. Are you the only one who is pushing now? Twende tukaona wazazi wako.
Utakuja lini kuona
utakuja lini?
Hey, Jesus. We.
And you evaluate based on what has been happening in a relationship.
Okay.
Because also, you can miss on the evaluation if you are also not genuine.
Ah, okay.
Because you can be the one pushing, but you are pushing for selfish reasons.
Wow. Okay.
Okay? You can be the one pushing, you can be the one initiating communication, but you are doing that for selfish reasons.
Yeah. Kuna kakitu nataka.
Yes.
Okay.
So now if you try to evaluate from that position, you think you are being used, but you know you are the parasite.
You're not the host. The other one is the host.
Yes.
Wait.
So, to evaluate genuinely, you must first ensure that you are genuine yourself. And if you know you are not genuine, if you know you are the parasite, first sort your parasite status.
Hiyo jini inakaa kali kuita mtu.
Lakini ni ukweli.
But ni ukweli.
Ni ukweli. Watu wanakaa kama ile kitu ilikuwa inakunywaga damu ya ng'ombe inaitagwa nini? What's the Swahili word for the tick?
Swahili tena.
Kupe.
Okay.
Kupe. Wewe unamekaa juu ya mtu, unanyonya damu. You are taking their time, you are taking their money, you are feeding on their emotions, na unajua hakuna mahali mnaenda.
Aki unajua hii kitu ni ya 2 years.
Hata wengine wanaisukumaga mpaka 10.
Na unajua kuna mtu mwingine utaoa.
Unajua uko kwa hii, nataka hapa nitoke na kagari, nitoke na kaplot, nitoke na mtoto. Kwanza acha kuolewa, there are women, let me mention women. Kuna wamama hata hakuna kitu anataka, ni mtoto tu. Hana haja na kitu ingine kwa hii mix yote.
Ataka tu copyright.
Ataka tu achomoke na katoto ama tuwili.
Yako sawa.
And some evaluations can fail. There are some you will never be able to see until they manifest. People do not change. They just manifest.
Yeah.
You only didn't know them. So over time, you will start seeing the gaps. And sometimes you might not see until it is too late in the day.
Yeah.
Until umekuja kwa nyumba siku moja, unapata mtu alienda na kila kitu.
Mefagia nyumba kweli kweli.
Yes, umekuja nyumba inakuongelesha.
Hey. That's why it hits you.
Yes. Ama siku moja tu umepiga simu haichukuliwi.
Yeah.
It's not answered. Because once the parasite is full, kuna parasites zinafikaga wakati wa kudehost. But remember, these are human parasites. Yeah, they have a brain.
That's true.
Yes. Na kuna ingine inakunywa like in cows, if the cow dies, the ticks fall off.
Yeah.
Ingine anakusukuma, anakuacha mwisho. Anachomoka, anaenda kutafuta another host. And there are some parasites ambao ni parasites continuously.
They'll never change.
Yes, they don't change.
Their
They
name is
they will
Tick
jump from host
to host.
to host. Yes, you
No.
can say their middle name is Tick.
Tick.
Mm,
They can never change that title.
they don't.
And now, what are the dangers of situationships?
Bottom line, the danger of situationship is that you'll be left hurt. The host gets hurt and gets hurt not knowing they will get hurt.
Inawapata tu papa.
Inakupata, and you have poured everything.
You've given your all.
You've given your best.
to this person.
And it actually feels very bad, especially for people who find themselves in situationship marriages. Because you pour everything into it, 5, 10, 15 years. Then one day, you back to zero like you never did anything.
Where?
But like I said, it never goes wrong. It starts wrong. If you are going to avoid situationships, then we must start relationships right.
And what are some of the ways we can make sure we are starting our relationships right?
One of the ways of making sure we start relationships right is what especially this new generation does not want to hear. Take time.
Take time in what? Kuna take time in dating? Take time before you say yes? What is which?
Take time.
Eh.
Could I say before you commit?
Oh yeah, before you commit.
Take time. History ya kupatana Facebook na kupendana na kuoana, muache.
Okay.
Because through this, by the time somebody hits 20, they have a story.
Yeah, that's true.
But because you saw them in the praise and worship team, you think they are angels.
Wanashuka Sunday.
So you get into a relationship with someone,
Yeah.
and you don't get to know their history.
Okay.
You don't get to know who they are.
Okay.
You meeting someone, you don't know even one of their friends.
Now the worst thing, others will stay with them for 20 years and you never know.
They want to behave like Melchizedek. No father, no mother. No beginning, no end. Not known where they came from or where they are going.
Wait. Okay.
And human beings are social creatures.
Yes.
If I meet you, Emily, within 2-3 months of knowing you, I should know at least a few of your friends.
Yeah, that's true.
That shows you are human. If I'm not knowing your friends, I can't know you. You are not even talking about family. Then, iko shida.
Yeah, that's true.
You are either a demon or an angel.
Okay.
So take time. Learn people. And also it's important before or during you courtship and dating or whatever you want to call it. Somebody asked me what is the difference between dating and courtship. I told them dating is casual, courtship is serious. Now,
Teacher, what do you mean by that? I also want to know. Nijue kama hii yenye nafanya ni dating ama ni courtship.
because dating basically is where you get to know each other.
Okay.
Okay?
So casually.
So you're going out
Eh,
just to get to know each other,
okay.
not necessarily with marriage as the end. You building a friendship.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Courtship is after you have agreed we are moving this direction. That's where courtship starts. So where you're involving, that is my definition. You can go and look for your own definition.
And Google.
That is mine.
Yeah.
Dating is casual. Courtship is
It's
serious business.
Okay.
Okay? So in between here, between getting to know the person and if you're going to manage getting to start courtship, get to know the people.
Yeah.
Get to know people. Jua watu. Tembea kwao. See how they treat their siblings. See how they treat their parents. Listen to how they talk about their elders. Listen about how they talk about their pastor. Get to know people. People do not change. People get manifested.
Yeah.
Yes.
They manifest what is
They
inside.
manifest. They don't change. It is just that at that time, given time, the environment does not allow. And that's the problem. Once, Emily, I meet you and we kick off romantically, then I'll only show you what I want you to see.
The good side. That is so true.
But if we are just friends,
you'll know my true colors.
You'll know my true colors.
Yes.
I'll tell you when I'm heartbroken.
Yes.
I'll tell you when I'm broke.
Yes.
If we are just friends.
Yes.
And I say one of the easiest way to know people, two things. Open field and food. Open field and food. People manifest.
Food when they're eating, Ama.
When there is food.
How they are behaving.
How people behave around food will tell you a lot about them. And number two, in the open field. Go for hikes. Go, you will know people.
Lesson learned.
Yeah, some of these things you don't need prophets. You only need your eyes. But we don't take time.
That's true. That is so true.
If you're eyeing someone, Emily, just make sure amewekwa kwa mix fulani ya hike.
Alafu nikue eyes on the goal. That is so good.
Na kwa kibashi hivi.
Sasa, there's some situationships people find themselves in because of other people. Naona ile ya probably your parents, your friends, the work, and everything. So that individual ako kwa hiyo already. So what is the way forward for this person?
I hate to be the one to say this.
To break the news.
But truth is, if yours is a situationship, whether you got into it knowingly or unknowingly, or like you're saying it was forced by parents, you have only two options. To agree to live in it unhappily.
Okay.
Ukubali tu. Yashakuwa.
Chatendeka.
Okay? All to figure out how to end it.
Okay.
That's why I said I'm sad that I'm the one to break this news. But if there is a third option, but it takes a lot of work.
Okay.
Where the two parties sit down and agree, this is a situationship. We have found ourselves here. We never planned it to be this way. But having stayed together, I think we can make this work. Okay? Then what do we do then from here? You must get professional help.
So there is hope.
There is hope if they are willing to work on it. Because the reason relationships don't work is when both parties are not willing to work. If you find only one party is working on the relationship, that's how relationships fail. Lakini tukijipata tulipata mtoto, tulioana, enye isipokuwa ulipata mimba, singekuoa. Lakini vile tumekaakaa hivi, naona kama tunaweza work.
Okay.
So you start off.
So there's a very high chances of having a situationship turned to a relationship.
No. There is a possibility.
Oh, there's a possibility.
Yes.
Okay.
But that possibility can only happen if the parasite decides my time of being a parasite is over. I want to make this work.
Okay.
And then slowly metamorphosize from being a parasite into a human being.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
And then, of course, this other person will pick the vibe along the way. All sit down, be open. Say, I got into this because of your money and because I wanted a child. But I think I've got more than I bargained for. And I want in 100%. And you let the other person make the choice. Dangerous move.
Wait, that is dangerous.
Dangerous move.
But it is worth the try.
Because it's better that somebody hates me for the truth than love me for the lies.
Yeah, that is so true.
So there are things that can happen. And what I'm saying is by no means the marking scheme. So you can either stick your head in and decide, especially if you are the host and you discover the parasite, but now the parasite has your 2 children. So you can decide, niendelee kunyonywa damu nilee watoto, sitaki watoto wangu watembezwe. Okay? The parasite can decide, my days of being a parasite are over. Let me metamorphosize to a human being. Okay? So they can either do it slowly and pull the other person along, almost seamlessly, that the other person might never note there was a difference. Because those guys can be clever. Or put it on the table
as it is
and say, we need to work on this.
That is serious. Now there has been a lot of cases of people murders. Unapata bibi na bwana, kulifanyika mtu alichukua kisu akadunga nini. Could we say some of these are the results of situationships? Ama sasa hiyo ni kesi by its own self?
There are several issues around that. But yes, some are situationships. Because like I said, the problem with a situationship, it can never be lifelong. It will end someday.
Either good or
if the
bad.
situationship does not end, one person in the situationship will end.
Okay.
Because if I'm the host and I discover you are a parasite, I can feel bad enough to kill you. And if you are the parasite and you discover the host has discovered and they want to shake you off, you might decide to kill them.
Okay.
So the problem with situationships is that eventually, if the situationship doesn't end, one of the parties in the situationship ends. You either killed or eliminated another way.
Okay.
Or they take off.
Okay.
So, yes, some of those murders are because of situationships.
Okay.
You hear, sijui alisikia wife yake alikuwa anafanya nini, sijui alisikia nini. Those things happen.
So we need to be careful because those are lives being lost.
Yes, lives are being lost. But I think the parasites have to learn to be human beings.
Evaluate tafadhali.
Evaluate.
Aki tujijue. Ata it's not only in relationship but also in friendship.
I said it's in all relationships, even at the family level. Hata kwa family kuna maparasites. Kama sahi kuna watu walikuja Christmas, ulikuja home na huku kuja na kitu na unataka ukirudi utoke nyumbani na kuku na mahindi. What are you doing?
Not me.
These are family parasites. Na sasa hiyo umekuja na gari, umejaza mafuta na umekuja na watoto wako wote 8. Na hakuna kitu ulikuja nayo. Parasites wako mpaka kwa kanisa. Na wengine wako wanaishiki. Mtu amemaliza mwaka hii mzima na hajawahi toa sadaka. Lakini bado anataka ahubiriwe.
Na abarikiwe. Akiwaambie bye. Tafadhali waambie bye before it gets hot.
Is yours a relationship or a situationship? Are you the parasite or the host?
We need to know.